Hey everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave. I'm super excited to share this project with you today. I actually have two projects, plus I have a crazy Throwback Thursday photo. So prepare yourselves because it's a goodie. All right, this video is all about Throwback Thursday, which I chose a project I'd made several years ago, and I just loved how this card came out. And so I decided to do a little throwback or to take my Throwback Thursday and update it a little bit. So you can see this card uses a stamp set that was retired a few years ago called Mixed Bunch. Loved that stamp set. So I used the Blossom punch, and then I have the chevron embossing folder for my background, and I even did some stitching, and then my sentiment thinking of you, which I don't even remember what that stamp set was called, sorry. Anyway, I loved the gray with aqua and a pop of tangerine tango, which I thought was a great color combination, and I still do love it. In fact, this color right here is called Coastal Cabana, which was an in color several years ago, and I'm so crossing my fingers that they'll bring it back someday. Okay, so my new card is this one, and I loved the look of this. So I used, these three colors are the same as these three, but I added in Island Indigo, and I actually tried using tangerine for my flower on top here, but let's just say it wasn't right. But then I had a scrap of Berry Burst on my table, and I tried that and I loved it. So let me show you how this came together because it's pretty awesome. And then I will show you this adorable little gift box that I created as well. Now, before we get started, are you prepared for the Throwback Thursday video or photo? Because it's a little scary. So this is from, I think, my second convention that I attended. I believe this convention was actually in Minneapolis, for if any of you demonstrators are watching this video. And this is me. This is my sister, Lisa. She was my first recruit under me. This is my friend, Elizabeth Price. If you go through my Creation Station blog hop, she is on that. She is an amazing artist. This is my original upline. Her name is Betsy, and I honestly can't remember this lady's name, but I remember she was a sideline of mine. So anyway, isn't that kind of funny how that all works? So this was taken, I believe, in the year 2000, so that would be 17 years ago. Clearly I have not aged at all. But I just thought it was really funny to see this picture again. I was digging around looking for something with big hair, and that's really not big hair for me, but it is kind of funny. So anyway, isn't that cute? Me and my sister. And we had stamped these little silk scarves, and we thought we were all that in a bag of chips. Okay, so back to today. Let's make this adorable card because it is really easy. Okay, first of all, I'm going to start with the Eastern Beauty stamp set, and I'm using one of my favorite images out of here, which is this one, and I'm going to stamp that onto a scrap of Berry Burst cardstock, and I need one of these, but I'm going to die cut two. So let me explain that. First of all, I'm going to stamp just in Berry Burst cardstock with Berry Burst ink. And then I'm also going to stamp one of these little center medallion thingies right there. So I'll die cut both of those out. I also, actually I'm going to stamp one more because I used it on my box. Okay. I also am going to give you a couple tips on this. When I stamped this, or when I die cut this, pardon me, I'm going to use two pieces to die cut. So I've got the piece that just cuts out this medallion, and then I'll actually cut one more just by itself with no stamping, just on its own, to put in the background. Okay, but back to this one. I will also take and center this piece, and this cuts these little petals out so they can be lifted up kind of three-dimensionally. And so I will position this piece in here as well. I want to make sure it's nice and centered in the stamped image as well as within my framelit, the outline framelit. Now, to keep this all together, I can do one of two things. I can use either a Post-it note or some washi tape to just kind of hold that into place so that it doesn't wiggle around when I am die cutting. And then of course I'll die cut this piece as well. Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a second and show you the other part of the card that we're going to put together. And then I'll go do all my big shot work. So first of all, I've got a basic gray cardstock base, and then a piece of 4x5 1/4 basic gray cardstock. Then I have a 3x4 piece of Whisper White. Now, if you can't remember all these dimensions, you can head over to my blog. They're on my blog post, as well as all the photos and links to my online store, because oh my gosh, I'd be so appreciative if you ordered through me should you need to purchase any of these fabulous items. Now, this Eastern Beauty is one of my faves. I actually have an online class for this. It's called Eastern Palace, and it is pretty awesome. There's a bunch of really cool projects that show you how to use this stamp set. It's so versatile. So I've got all my pieces on here, okay, going across, and then I'm going to go and emboss this with the Oh My Stars embossing folder. Okay, so I'll just place that in my folder, and then I'll run it through my Big Shot, and I will be back in just a moment with that in my die cutting. Okay, so I've gone ahead and embossed my background panel. So I'll go ahead and just adhere that to my card with some fast fuse right here in the center. And then I've also can adhere this onto my card. Now, I omitted the stitching on here mainly because my sewing machine is buried and I just didn't have the time or frankly the energy to dig it out. But I still think this card looks pretty good without it. Okay, then, oops, I forgot one piece next to my Big Shot. Here we go. So I die cut my stamped image, and I'm just going to carefully kind of curl each of these petals up a little bit, because always, whenever I can add dimension, I like to. So I've got that done. There we go. And then I've got my solid piece right here, and I'll just adhere those together, offset from one another. So pretty. And I just love how easy this is. I just stamped the first one and not the second one, just because I thought it would get a little busy if there was so much stamping on there. And then I will pop this up onto my card like so. And then I'm also going to add this little center piece that I stamped. Let me get some dimensionals on my edge cut out here. Let's see if we can get that on. Yep. And then to finish that off, I'm going to put a perfect white accent in the center. Let's see. Here we go. I keep all my embellishments in these little clear stamp box, empty stamp cases. You can order these online, and they are so great for storing things. Okay, so there we go. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is add a sentiment to this. So I've just got a scrap piece of cardstock, and I'm using the 1 in a million stamp set, or no, I'm sorry, 1 in a million, One Big Meaning, pardon me. And I love all the different thank yous in that set. I use that set quite a bit. So here is one of them. Now you might notice in the stamp set that this is actually a, it is a piece of I cut it off from this. So I didn't want from all of us. I just wanted the thank you, and I just literally cut that apart so I could use it on its own. All right. The last thing I'm going to do is take my triple banner punch and punch the end of my sentiment like so, and then I will just tuck this in on my card, curl it up a little hair there, and then tuck it in just like that. Isn't that super cute? So really an easy card, and I love the colors. They're just kind of fun. And this Rich Razzleberry looks so, or I'm sorry, not Rich Razzleberry. This is not Rich Razzleberry. It's Berry Burst. It looks so rich against these aqua shades. So, all right. Now on my gift box, let me just tell you a little bit about this. This is a jewelry box. This is actually, we got a gift from our Stampin' Up! Incentive trip in here, this necklace, which I have yet to take out. But I love the box. It's just a plain old craft jewelry box, so I think it's adorable. And all I did was wrap it with some paper. I cut 2 3-inch wide strips. So basically I took one piece of this lighter paper, and then I die cut the same medallions as here, except I didn't stamp on any of them. I just die cut one with the petals and one without, such as I have right here. And then again, I will curl each of these leaves just like I did before. Just curl them up to give them a little bit of dimension. And then I'll adhere the 2 pieces together. And I just love this Wood Textures DSP. If you have not gotten this, you are crazy. You need to get some right now because it's so awesome. Now, isn't that cute? It's really pretty. So then I'm going to kind of polish this off with another little, let me get it, here we go, another little center. Again, this one is Berry Burst. And then this time I'm going to finish it off with a gold faceted gem because I think this is going to be so pretty. So I'll take one of the little gold gems and I'll stick that right in the center. Okay, so then all I did to finish this off was I wrapped a piece of ribbon around and just adhered it on the back and then added my medallion on top. Isn't that adorable? I think I'm going to try and turn this into a card. If I do, I will of course keep you posted. But there you have it, guys. I hope you loved stamping with me today. I hope my throwback picture gave you a good laugh, and I hope you will get stamping today. If you have any questions, of course, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe right here. Click on that little box. And if you haven't, head over onto my blog and check out all the deets. Thanks, guys. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.